All right, so here we have Bitcoin on Bybit on the 1 hour. As you see, we have fallen out below another range. Tried to find some support on this purple region, and tried to get a bounce, but the bounce was very weak, fell below, and almost made it to 18 grand, like we've been talking about. Then we came back up, got above the 21, got rejected from the 50, like we were talking about in the Discord earlier. And now we are coming back down. We have crossed the 21 once again on a 1 hour closure. So it looks like it looks like we're going to make a lower high here, probably make a lower low. Next stop is 18 grand. And that's probably where we're going to go here real soon. Your RSI on the 1 hour did get rejected from the neutral median line, basically coming back down, probably get a bounce the top of the bearish control zone, possibly even come down into the bearish control zone, get a bounce from the signal line, head back up to the top of the bearish control zone, and then get rejected. We'll talk about the bullish case here in a minute, but right now we're going to focus more on the bearish case. MACD does have an upside curvature, but it's kind of losing it. Positive momentum starting to wane. Let's see here, 18,755 is the level that we need to stay above the signal line on the RSI, which is a momentum oscillator. It judges bullish and bearish momentum. Same thing with the MACD. It's a bullish, judges bullish and bearish momentum, and it is a momentum oscillator. Down here, your BBWP measures volatility. So we did get a pretty high read. Now we have crossed the moving average to the downside, but we're still in the upper zone. So the volatility could easily continue. Let's move on to the 4 hour. Here on your 4 hour, you're pretty deep in the bearish control zone, coming back down. Looks like you could be trying to cross that signal line. MACD's below the zero line, below your signal line. Negative momentum is waning a bit, but we'll see what happens. We did find support on these last lows right here on the histogram, which was expected, and we'll see. Because if we break these last lows on the histogram, this thing's going to go down pretty fast. Right now, your BBWP is far above its moving average, so the volatility has begun. It started when, we got this first move right here to the downside. That's when the volatility really picked up. I do expect it to continue. I do expect a rejection from the level that we are at right now. Let's move on to the 8 hour. All right, so once again, you have a lot of bearish momentum in all time frames right now. I mean, you got a pretty fresh cross of the zero line. Negative momentum looks like it's trying to increase again. You got a strong downside curvature on the MACD line as your 8 hour BBWP crosses its moving average. So these longer term signals are obviously a lot stronger and are going to lead to a lot bigger moves. So, in plus, the 1 hour, the 4 hour are going to pour into the 8 hour. So we still have high volatility on the 1 hour and 4 hour. So I do expect the volatility on the 8 hour to really start to pick up. Let's go to the daily. Daily. You got your signal line coming right at the top of the bearish control zone. So even if we would get a bounce, maybe coming into the FOMC meeting, I don't think we get above here. I don't think we get out of the bearish control zone. We would need to get above 19,005, basically 540 in order to get above that signal line. I do not think that happens. We could possibly get a bounce up to there, which would be, let's see here. Let's go back down to the 1 hour. 2,000, basically right at the, basically right at the bottom of this previous range. So maybe we get the bounce up to there. I think that has a less probability, but either way, I don't think we get above the 100 at 19,600 region. I do not think we get above there. We could possibly make a higher low here at the 18,680 region, then come up to the 100 and get rejected. That is another scenario. That's more of the bullish scenario. If we get above the 100 and this POC point of control in the VPVR, which is here to your right, so passing 19,700, I think we come all the way up, break this last high. well, not the last high, but get to the top of the last range and come up to the 200 at 20,003 to 400. Like I said, I think that's less probable, but it's always good to have the bullish and bearish cases and know your levels, because nobody really knows what the market is exactly going to do, but you can have your levels, put the probabilities in your favor, and make money over time. Let's go to the 2-day. 2-day is in the bearish control zone, crossing your signal line. MACD crossing its signal line to the downside. Actually, it's more like a retest and resumption down. BBWP's turning around. So whenever this thing crosses that moving average, we are going to get a huge move. And I do think it's to the downside. Let's go to the 5-day. So here on the 5-day, I do have the measured move. This entire range from basically 25K to 18,500. I do have the measured move of that range coming in at 13,000, which is our target. That we've been talking about in the Discord. By the way, if you guys are liking this video so far, like and subscribe to the channel. Check out the links in the description below. One being the Discord. A lot of good conversation there about crypto trading and investing. We stay ahead of the curve. We collectively figure out this market. Now, the 13,500 is one of our levels. We have that level. We have about, 9,500. And those are, I mean, you can obviously see what I would be doing at those levels. So, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm looking for long-term accumulation. Not financial advice. If you copy my trade and get wrecked, I'm not your dad. But those are my levels, and I'm sure a lot of people agree with that. We do have, a lot of correlations going with these levels. Plus, your MACD is losing its upside curvature, starting to curl over here. Positive momentum's pretty stable right now, getting rejected from this last high on the histogram. We need to stay above 18,756 in order to keep rising above. I don't think we're going to cross the signal line. If we do cross the signal line, that comes in at 12,500. All right. So if we do cross that signal line, that's going to lead us back down. That's going to lead us down to the second target at about 9,500. So on the 5-day, if we do cross that signal line to the downside, that's probably going to mean that we go to the lower target. Right, and look at this. Right now, your BBWP is about to cross its moving average. That's what I'm saying. The short-term time frame is going to have some volatility, but it's time for the big move. It's time for the big move, and I think it's going to lead us down first to 16, maybe 15,500. Probably get a major bounce there. Probably back up to 1,800. Make a lower high. Come down to 13,000. Oh, yeah, not 1,800, 18,000, 15,500. All right. So, and that's more of a longer term, perspective. Let's go on to the weekly. Weekly, you're in the bearish control zone, crossing below your signal line, MACD. Once again, to cross below its signal line, it needs to get below 13,310. So that's what I'm saying. If your MACD on your 5-day and your weekly crosses the signal line to the downside, we're probably going to 9,500. I know that sounds crazy, but the probabilities are very high that we go down to 13,000. And if that happens, and we go a little lower on a closure, on like a daily closure below those levels, then I would expect us to go to 9,500. So let's go back down to the 1 hour. So yeah, bullish case is that we break the 50. Actually, that we break the 100 at 19,006, 19,700 on a 1 hour closure. I would expect us to come up to the top of the range, 20,500. Probably get a rejection from there. Bearish case is that we break this purple zone at 18,700. I would expect us to make another low. I would expect the next stop to be 18K. I know I keep saying, 18. Oh, okay. Never mind. Yeah, 18,500. 18,600, 18,700, I mean, to the downside. Next stop would be 18,000. If we break 18,000, next stop is 16K. All right. So we got all our levels. We got our long-term levels. You know, watch your MACD on your 5-day and weekly. This shit's not going to happen in a day or two. It's going to take, you know, a month in order for those signals to come to fruition. All right. So, yeah, that's about all I have for Bitcoin. Let's move on to Ethereum. Actually, let's go check. All right. So you're getting rejected from an order block, bullish order block where there is demand, but you're getting rejected from there. All right. We did fall below it. Now we're gonna get rejected. Stochastic's pointing to the downside pretty sharply. Probably going to cross this signal line. I do think the bounce is probably over. We're probably going to get rejected from here, probably make a new low. If we do close below the band, 18,500, 18,700, basically, more like 18,550. We do close below the bottom band, the next stop is going to be 18K pretty quick, because then we're going to start closing below the bottom band of the Bollinger Bands. I mean, we're going to have signal line cross on the stochastic. You know, and this is on the 4-hour, by the way. And we're going to have signal line cross of the RSI. We're going to have, let's see, signal line cross of that is going to be 17,784. So on your 1-hour, if you cross the signal line to the downside on your MACD, probably going to go down to 16K. That would lead us to 16K. All right, and once again, you got this 20,500 level coming in at the 0 line. That would be the bullish case. Now let's move on to Ethereum. Once again, if you guys like this video, like and subscribe to the channel. All right, so here on Ethereum, we did drop below our red zone. We knew what this red zone was about. This was the line in the sand, 1350. All right, now we came back up for a retest of the top, getting rejected. All right, we are closing below the 21 right now. We're being held down by the 21. We got rejected from the 50, came back down. I do think this thing blows up, and as soon as we cross this signal line, see, right now we're getting the bounce like usual off the top of the bearish control zone. A lot of times you'll get a bounce, or you'll just fall through and then get a retest like here, you know, right here you got a few bounces, then entered it, then got your retest. Let's see, you know what I mean. All right, so if we do cross that signal line, which we would need to get below 1316, so not too far away, I think this thing's going to shit the bed. Positive momentum on the histogram is starting to decrease. All right, you need to get down below 1212 in order to cross the signal line of the MACD to the downside. If that happens, I think we go to $1,000 for Ethereum pretty quickly too. And we need to stay above 1318 in order to keep rising above. You are losing your upside curvature just a little bit, but we'll find out. All right, so let's go to, I want to go to the daily. All right, so your daily looks like you're trying to get some sort of bounce on this. Like I said, but you are in the bearish control zone below your signal line. Ooh, okay. Fresh cross of the 0 line and the signal line at the same time. Negative momentum on the histogram is increasing as your BBWP is still expanding. This thing looks like shit. I don't think we get a bounce here. And if we do, it's probably weak. I mean, we had our bounce on the 1-hour. We got rejected directly from the 50. Came back down below the 21. It's not looking good on short-term time frames. On, let's see, what are we looking at on medium-term time frames? Not too good. Yeah, I mean, as soon as this BBWP crosses its moving average, pay attention to which way this momentum is facing. If we get back above the signal line as your BBWP crosses its moving average, we could get the bounce to the bottom of this range at 1410. That's the bullish case. All right, is that we get the bounce up to 1410. I do think we get rejected from there, but I think that's the best case scenario. And that's if this signal line gets crossed to the upside on the RSI. as your BBWP crosses its moving average. But I do think we would get rejected from there. I do think we make new lows. I do think we work our way down to $1,000. All right, so that's about it for Ethereum. Let's move on to Solana. Solana is actually up 3% today. We did basically found support at our purple zone. We're going to go ahead and move this down, move this up right there, more precision. And right now we are squeezed in between the 50 and the 21. RSI is in the neutral zone above its signal line. Did bounce off this neutral median line. If you can stay above this neutral median line and work your way up to the bullish control zone, I would expect a prolonged bounce from Solana, possibly up to $33. All right, and that would be a major level of resistance. So we'll find out what happens with Solana. MACD, strong upside curvature. Positive momentum's waning a bit, but we'll find out. If you can keep this strong upside curvature and try to work your way up to that zero line, I think that's where you would probably get rejected. BBWP is still expanding. Moving average is even starting to curl around. When that moving average curls around, I do think the big move happens here too. Now, depending on what Bitcoin does, is going to decide whether Solana can get its move or not. I mean, right now Solana looks like it could get a bounce, you know, and we would probably get rejected from the zero line on the MACD, which would probably coincide with getting up to $33. So yeah, I mean, just pay attention to Bitcoin, pay attention to these levels. If you can break the 100 at 32, basically if you break this last wick on a 1 hour closure at 32.50, 32.55, all right, even 32.50, I would expect a small rejection at first at about the 32.60 level where this 100 is, but ultimately I think you could get up to $33, possibly even $33.25. That would be the line in the sand for me. If you can break that, I would expect a minor rejection at $34. Ultimately, I think you would get up to $34.80. But that has a less probability to it. I do think you'll get rejected. A lot of this is going to depend on what Bitcoin does too. I mean, yes, Solana's up 3%, Bitcoin's down 2%. So Solana's outperforming, you know, a little bit right now. But if Bitcoin shits the bed, so is Solana. So if Bitcoin behaves, Solana could get a little bit of a prolonged bounce. You know, maybe one of the better coins to be in right now. But we'll find out. Like I said, we break this 21 at 31.70, all right, on a 1 hour closure. Basically this last wick, we're probably going to make a new low. We'll probably get another bounce at 30.70, minor bounce, probably make a lower high, probably would come up to 31.50 and then get rejected. That would be our lower high. Next level would be $28.50 to $29. That would be your next level. If you break $28.50 on a 1 hour closure, next stop, $26. That's when we'll come back to it, because that means Bitcoin collapsed and we're probably going to 13K for Bitcoin. So if that happens, let's see what the percentage move would be for Bitcoin to get to $13,000. I mean, I know this is going to be a big ass move. All right. That'd be another 30%. So let's go to Solana. See what. Okay, so look at this. Kind of coincides. 20% for Solana, $25, so 30%. Be about $20. Yeah, I mean, that would be about $20. So we'll see. That could be the bear market low. We'll find out. You know, we'll stay ahead of the curve, and we will stay updated every single day. So once again, if you guys like this video, like and subscribe to the channel, turn on those bell notifications so you get notified every single day with this time-sensitive content. Everyone have a great morning, great afternoon, great evening, and I will see you tomorrow.